headlines for today. Ajibala seems to be the minimum wage correspondent. So, since that is what is trending,
it's time for me to give you updates.
Okay, give us an update.
No 100,000 naira yet. No 200,000
naira yet.
That's the update.
We are still waiting for the federal government to do the needful. Minimum wage, finance minister submits template to Tinubu today. It does appear that the federal government is serious now, and of course, it doesn't want Labour to go on strike again. The federal government and organized Labour yesterday adjourned the minimum wage talk till today, when the negotiation is expected to continue. The Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage postponed the session in anticipation of the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, submitting the salary template to President Bola Tinubu today. Tinubu, on Tuesday, directed the Finance Minister to present the cost implications for a new national minimum wage within 2 days. The President gave the order at a meeting with a government negotiation team led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, at the Presidential Villa. Sources in the labor unions privy to the committee meeting said the parties decided to await the outcome of the presidential template before proceeding with further negotiation. So the man in the picture now is the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, and Mr. President is on his head to do the needful. So whether he likes it or not, it must submit a realistic minimum wage today, and of course the implication in terms of money for the federal government.
So what would be the yardstick for being realistic?
That is what we don't know. So maybe when they now table their own template before labor leaders, they will now discuss and of course find a meeting point.
But really, if you ask me, I think government should just do 100,000. Because Labour is saying we will not do anything less than 100. And so if you do anything less than, then it means that we're still going to dilly-dally.
Exactly.
Because Labour already gave a position of where they will not shift grounds anymore. So they shifted grounds from 464.
615.
615 to 464, and so everybody has said be realistic, let us get to something that government can pay, so that of course there won't be imminent job losses. Okay, so they're saying they will not take anything less than 3 figures, so 3 figures, peg it at 100. Let's just do this thing and be done with it,
and
move on, because again, Wale Edun gave an aint of 75,000 naira yesterday or day before yesterday. We don't know if that is what he's going to again present to Mr. President today, but let's hope that maybe they would have added 15,000 naira to the 75,000 and maybe present maybe 100,000.
He hinted yesterday. I'm sure the NLC must have hinted him too.
Those ones said,
don't do that.
No, they already said, see, I don't know what you people are doing, but the same speed with which national anthem was passed, the same speed that the increment for the judicial workers has also been passed.
300%.
Yes.
So why this? This one that we've been on for almost a year, and we've just been going back and forth. So sometimes government also needs to show a level playing field, show fairness.
That's the word.
Show fairness.
Yesterday as well, I must commend members of the lower chamber of the National Assembly. You know, some of them, the way and manner they spoke, I was quite impressed. And they spoke in a manner that, they actually know
the reps have always been the more vocal.
But some of them, there was a
ones.
particular man yesterday, he was saying that, okay, because the bag of rice is 80,000 naira, the minimum wage should be pegged at 75,000 naira.
Yeah.
So that we should go and borrow the remaining 5,000
to balance up.
To buy. That's just rice.
Palliative. Okay, I didn't tell your story.
Okay, on a softer note, federal government releases approved.
Are you sure it's soft? Are you sure it is soft?
For reintroducing
have you been to the pharmacy
national anthem? To pharmacy.
To buy what?
Lately.
The pharmacy.
Any medication? No.
Expensive.
Yeah.
I bought cotton wool, a pack of cotton wool at 300 naira yesterday.
And how much was it before now?
It used to be 50 naira.
It used to be
Can you
50 naira
imagine?
now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, federal government releases approved lyrics for reintroduced national anthem. Through the National Orientation Agency, the federal government unveiled the approved version of the reintroduced national anthem. The agency asked Nigerians to pay attention to the words in lines 3 and 5 of the recalled national anthem. Today's event, or yesterday's event, was to present the official version, which will clear all doubts about the correct lyrics as contained in the act signed by the president. And these are the words you are supposed to look out for. Note that the words tribes and tongues are in plural. We want you to also note that line 5 of the first stanza reads, Nigerians all are proud to serve, and not and. That is my news point for today.
How much was budgeted for that event?
There's no money now, so they cannot budget anything for it.
But
There's no money.
It.
At least there's no money to pay the minimum wage. But
You
there's
know,
money for arts.
you
there's money
remember
for
that? You
Jerusalem.
remember that when this national anthem thing came up, I remember very well that I said, I imagine how much will be spent to not get this in the right perspective, because again, you're changing things, so you will pay for those things. What I would have expected NOA to do was to use other avenues to have passed on this
They
message.
had an event. They had to sit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yesterday, because
So
they want
that's
tell people
event which happened in
correct.
Abuja. How many people would that event have made an impact on? Why not use avenues by which you can actually get to the people? And, you know, it seems like a joke, but I think that also will resonate. Can you also put together a few artists and get them to do this thing?
Yes.
It will resonate. Nigerians love
And it will
entertainment.
sink faster that way.
Yes,
If
Nigerians
the
love
report
things
says
that
that
they
they
can
will come up
connect
with-
with.
The report also says
They will come up with something like that and open
An open
opportunity for people to come and
do
To come and do what?
To sing it.
To sing the national anthem.
That's another competition.
No, to sing it so that you
Hey,
sing
it's
it.
another competition. Ashabi, you
sing
will
it
now
where-
choose people the ones that you
where
will now
and to who?
release.
The people will
Shebi, the way the national anthem was chosen in the first place, it was through a competition. So we want to do another singing competition that'll get
that
people
will
to
have
sing it.
Our Nigerian beats and
What is this one that we have? Him beats.
We are a funny set of people, honestly. And we like to do a lot of comedy when we have more pressing
Serious
matters in the
issues,
country.
serious. NOA should, you know, find a way to get this to everybody, get the correct lyrics if that is their priority. Print it out, put it on their website, put it on the social media
it to
platforms,
schools.
take it to schools, put it there, out there, so that everybody can have, you know, the right wordings, the right lyrics, and not all this. Sometimes they're just priorities that are not properly put in the right
It's
perspective.
just 1 year in the life of this administration, so maybe they are still booting, like we always say on the program.
Okay.
Start fastening your seatbelt.
We should fasten our seatbelt again. Be very careful.
More is yet to come. We still have another 3 years.
And VAT is still coming.
As we
VAT is still coming.
As we fasten our seatbelts this morning, Tinubu may suspend import duties on food, drugs. Coming back to what you said earlier, you know, taking a look at what the pharmaceutical companies are doing now. So the president said, this story says the import duty and other tariffs are to be suspended on the following for 6 months. That is on staple food items, raw materials, and other direct inputs used for manufacturing, inputs for agricultural production, including fertilizers, seedlings, and chemicals, pharmaceutical products, poultry feeds, flour, and grain. So the president is looking at a suspension of import duties on these items for the next 6 months. And I think for me here, the biggest two sectors, agriculture and pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Because again, people are hungry and they cannot buy drugs when they are sick.
Do they
And
even
they
have
have
the
to
purchasing
eat.
power
They have
to
to
buy
eat
drugs?
again.
And you have to eat to use your drugs.
Yes, so you
So-
cannot take your medication on empty stomach. So it's a double tragedy. There's no food, and
you cannot
drugs
buy
are quite
drugs.
expensive. So
I hope that the import duty, you know, because now it is still May. I hope it will be in days to come. Even if it is 6 months, at least it will do some kind of damage control and push the inflation rates on these items further down.
I just hope that you are not using one style to give us something and using another one to take it back.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned battle. They are planning to increase VAT.
Yeah, but a part of what they are also planning to do is to harmonize the taxes and then maybe just do a tax cut. Let's wait
so
until...
there won't be double taxation.
Yes, that's what they're planning. And of course, the committee, they're also looking at how they can also streamline all of the places that Nigerians do pay taxes, VAT, and all of that. So it's a whole lot of... sometimes you don't even know what you're even saying.
Season of taxes.
You're just so bland and things are just there.
But your minimum wage, you pay tax.
Hey, but that one is deduct from source. Jibola, I beg, don't even make it look as if somebody does not pay the tax safe. Please deduct from source now. Civil servants, they collect the taxes before you get the money. So that one, me, I don't have a problem with it.
Someone even said
give me the
yesterday
change.
that it's the likes of Joy that are going to enjoy the new minimum wage.
Exactly, yeah.
Because we know the style that they use.
Yeah,
when they start paying now, your own will just be a drop.
Management staff. Joy, let's take your story.
Well, doctors give Lagos 3 weeks to implement CONMES. Doctors under the aegis of the Medical Guild on Wednesday gave the Lagos State government a 3-week ultimatum to implement the reviewed consolidated medical salary scale. This is according to the chairman, Medical Guild, Dr. Maruf Abdul Salam. He said the implementation of CONMES in Lagos was long overdue. The salary scale being paid to all medical and dental practitioners across the Federation. CONMES was adopted to prevent internal brain drain and rural-urban migration amongst doctors. He stated that colleagues under the employment of the federal government had already started enjoying the payment since February 2024. And they are not so pleased that this hasn't been replicated here in Lagos. He also mentioned something towards the end of the report that, let me pick it out. He says that there has been a surge in mental illness among our doctors, mainly from the excessive workload and poor conditions of service.
When you say that now, they will say, oh, we are fine. They are fine.
If the doctors are not,
They are human. They have families. So if you, and the fact that the Japa syndrome is also a huge problem on the health sector. So you have, just like the report said, long hours of cold duties, and they also have things they have to battle with. So yes, issues around mental health are things that you can't even take for granted as we speak. And of course, the populace are not even kind to them because they expect them to be there. They expect them, so you have backlashes, tongue lashing, and sometimes they lose it. And they remind you that, hello,
we are human.
I am a human being first before I am a doctor. So I also have things to worry about. So we do hope that government will look at how this can be addressed. What we do not want to see is another strike. In the health sector.
The patient to doctor ratio too is also putting a lot of pressure.
It will. It will. No doubt.
Oftentimes you see that when they post them to rural areas,
they don't go.
They find a way of dodging it
Yes, no.
and coming back to the city.
Yes,
So
because
those things, those incentives that they have in the city, take them to the grassroots
rural
level as well.
areas, yes. So we do hope that the Lagos State government will look into this fast and see how we avert any kind of industrial action in the health sector. Those are our news points for today. Let's quickly head to X, formerly Twitter, to take a look at what's trending. So many issues trending this morning. But today we're staying in Kaduna. Where? The former governor.
I thought it was holy.
Who is holy?
Because you know he's always vocal, condemning, saying this, saying that.
Aren't you vocal with money?
Oh.
Aren't you vocal with money?
Then you took some loans and you did not do anything. Allegations now.
There are allegations, exactly. But he also was quick to add yesterday that all of those things are frivolous. And of course, he did say that they are politically motivated.
You should go back to Kaduna and, of course, answer certain questions and, of course, wash his hands clean. If you have nothing that you are dodging, then you go and honor the invites. And, of course, open the books. Okay, I got this particular loan.
Records,
I used the loan for this particular thing. And I think the former governor of Kaduna State should also caution his son
Yeah,
He's
it
very
talks too
careless with his
much.
tongue.
It talks too much. It talks too much. For me, and I think I hope that governors, political office holders will learn generally, because these things are not cast in stone. You think that you're governor for 8 years, 4 years, you will leave one day.
Sure.
And so all of those things that you've done, either good or bad, will definitely come to haunt you. So it's best you could leave.
On a clean.
Well, the sitting governor is his anointed son.
Does it matter?
What has
Mubarak
happened?
was-
So Rivers is happening in Kaduna
was
too.
with-
It doesn't matter.
Was Wike. So
You know when you wake
doesn't
up
matter.
every day and you jungle mature.
Jungle was-
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
Wike has moved on.
I mean, and the president,
Wike is busy.
was proud of him yesterday. I said, and they said I should not give you this job, but I gave you this job, and I am proud that I gave. So Wike is the good boy now. All right, you can go to the X platform to take a further read on that trending story. We do hope that in days to come, Malam Nasser El Rufai will honor the invitation and clear the air on these allegations. We'll take a quick break. When we return, it'll be time for part one of our conversation. This topic today, I am really looking forward to it, because a lot of people, we talk about banking a lot, and so a lot of people will say iBanking. What exactly is that?
The
And
other
why?
day was food bank.
The other day was food
iBanking.
bank. Today is iBanking.
So when I saw that topic, I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, you know, like
And
in
there are
India
some
abroad,
superstitious belief
that you cannot
around
believe
it,
your
yeah.
eyes. Well, so, our doctor will
share
come,
one.
which is
No, that was according to what I read. So I'm going to ask the professional.
when she comes. So, I mean, a lot of people also. So it's more or less like when you die. I mean, those organs will go to waste. So why not
Don't
donate?
look out the eyes.
They'll take it out.
Abdebimpe, don't use pluck out.
I tell
That's scary.
Don't use pluck out.
Remove.
So
When you say pluck out, it looks like
they're going to use it for the right purpose.
because it depends on what you do. I mean, they cannot take it away from you if you haven't instructed that it be done. And so there are instructions. So you probably would have done it while you were alive.
I will allow them to pluck.
I don't know. You can ask the doctor when she comes in here. That's what we're talking about. And that's why we have a professional that will be coming after this break. So I'm sure you want to stay tuned until this particular conversation. Join us again after this short break. Welcome back to the program. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Of course, today on the program, it is more or less like an awareness because it looks like a lot of people do not really understand what this is all about. Yes, iBanks. What are iBanks? What are they known for? Is it a common practice in Nigeria? That's part one. And then you hear cornea donation, and then you hear, why would I... excuse me, why would I leave my eyes for someone else? But again, the question to ask is, once you're gone, are those eyes still useful? Okay, so we have a guest in the house this morning. She will educate us about all we need to know about issues surrounding cornea donation and eye banks generally in Nigeria, and probably Lagos as a case study. This morning we have a consultant ophthalmologist from LASUTH, that's the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja, Dr. Sedote Bashorun. Thank you for being here on the program today.
Thank you very much.
Right, so let's talk about the eye business because definitely this is all about. So when you talk about eye banks or eye banking, what exactly is that?
Okay, so the eye bank is an institution where it has the responsibility of harvesting corneas from donors, potential donors, and also processing these corneas and then transplanting it to those people that are in need of it. Because there's some group of people that are blind from corneal diseases.
Okay.
So there are some people that harvested corneas from people that are dead can be useful too. It's actually a life-giving experience for some, and it's been, a life-changing experience for others. So the harvested corneas can be used and people can see again.
Wow.
People that were previously blind can see again with those transplanted corneas. So the eye bank is an institution that has that responsibility of, harvesting corneas that have been, from people that have pledged to donate their eyes when they die, and processing these corneas and then subsequently distributing it, because really there are several institutions, teaching hospitals that are equipped with being able to transplant corneas, so they distribute those corneas to those institutions. LASUTH is one of them, and other teaching hospitals that have that capacity. So that is the primary function of the eye bank.
Okay, when I saw the topic, just like one of my colleagues over there said, eye banking, it was alien to my ears. And the next thing I would like to find out is, are we embracing cornea donation in this part of the world? Because while I was studying for this particular topic, I read about some superstitious belief about the donation of the cornea.
Yes, the truth is that it's not really been encouraging, because so far we've just had 2 corneal donors, 2 indigenous corneal donors in Lagos. So it's not been very encouraging, but definitely we hope to create more awareness about that, and that is one of the reasons for this talk. And of course, the myth surrounding cornea donation has not really helped. People tend to believe that when they die, they are likely to reappear in another life. And they believe that once the corneas have been harvested from them, then they won't have eyes to see. And that is actually not true, because we know that, when we die, I keep telling people that have tribal marks, for instance, when they come in another life, do you see a newborn baby with tribal marks?
Tribal mark already.
Because the truth is that the cornea starts to melt, after some time. Just like the whole body decays, it's also part of the organ that starts to decay. So it's not going to be useful for anybody.
It's better not to waste it.
So it's better to actually give, because you're actually giving someone sight. Take for instance, a young man came to the consulting room. He was blind. He's in his 40s. And, it's not him alone. He has the responsibility to cater for his family. And, in this part of the world, we have this communal relationship with the extended family. That person, that singular man, has the potential to provide for a large number of the family. And, if you look at the age of people that are usually cornea blind, they are usually in their most productive life. So we're looking at loss to the economy,
immediate family and to the
economic growth.
economy.
So it's not just at the family level, it's to the nation as a whole. So it's very important for people to understand this, that you're not taking your corneas to anywhere. You are going to, and the thing is that, the cornea is just the transparent parts of the eye. That is all what we are removing. We're not even harvesting the whole of the eye.
You're making it sound look so simple, like that's just what we are removing.
Yeah, but that is the truth, because if you are faced with the reality of people that are blind, and you know that with something very so-called easily, their life can be transformed, and you look at it, the people that who opens the eyes of a dead person, and the eye is still there. It's just that transparent part. People don't even notice it,
Right.
because usually in front of this black thing that we see, there's a transparent part of it. So it's not just the front of the eye that is black. There's a transparent part, and that is just what we're removing.
Okay. So people who've lost their eyesight because of cornea diseases, so what are some of the issues that people might face that could affect their cornea?
Okay, so in this part of the world, previously, I think it's getting better now. There's something called vitamin A deficiency, where children are born and because they don't have enough vitamin A precisely, in their diet, they develop some corneal opacities, and that causes the corneal blindness in them. But due to the upgrading of the primary healthcare, that is getting better. Not to say that we don't say that. We saw one quite recently again. So that is one. Then we also have problems of keratoconus, some diseases where people have, they just have this cornea problems that develop usually in their teens and early adulthood.
Okay.
Then also sometimes from trauma, people, that's why there's already a lot of advocacy in schools about, rough play, handling pencils and that. So all those things can cause scars on the cornea and definitely render that person, render the vision poor. And sometimes, usually when an eye is lost due to one reason or the other, the risk of harming that other eye or injury to the other eye is automatically increased. So you could have someone that has had trauma and having another trauma. So that is one thing that can cause it. Then also we have, from surgeries, it could be complications of surgeries. It could be due to some dystrophies. These are problems that people are generally born with, that we don't know why, but, there are familiar predispositions to them. Then also, one major thing, it's about people having maybe just a conjunctivitis, which is popularly known as Apollo. Then, we get all sorts of installation. People put all sorts of things in that eye, ranging from breast milk to sugar water to salt water to
urine.
To urine, yes, over-the-counter medications. So we have all those things, and those are the major culprits of corneal blindness.
So self-medication is a huge problem also here.
Okay, before, Adam, you have a question?
Yes, what about non-prescription and contact lens? Is it also a cause for cornea?
Yes, contact lens is something that can cause corneal blindness, especially when it's not properly. For contact lenses, there are rules to using them. Hygiene is paramount. They can easily be infected when the protocol is broken. So that can cause corneal blindness. So for patients or for people that use contact lens, they have to be very careful and follow the routines. If the indication on the contact lens is do not sleep with this contact lens, then do not sleep with it. If it says do not swim with contact lens, do not swim with it. If it says you can only wear it for a particular number of hours within a day, then it's important to adhere strictly to that. And sometimes, for people that use contact lenses, there may be some infection, just common viral infection that is seasonal, and it's usually advised for those period of time to use glasses or other forms of aids rather than contact lenses because they are more prone to infection.
Right.
Okay, when you when you remove, okay, when you harvest, when you harvest a cornea, does it go through any process for you to know if it's healthy or it's going to serve
If
the
it's a
purpose
match.
for which it's meant for?
Okay, so yeah, definitely we do that. Once a corneal has been harvested, there's a processing that goes through. We check if there's infection, if the cornea is suitable, if the cornea can actually be used, you know, for the cornea, for the person that is intended to be. But one thing that we have noticed, even though we've done some transplants from corneas abroad, but the few ones we've done in Nigeria, we've realized that they take better. You know, there's something about, you know, a cornea of the black to the black. You know, so we've noticed that they tend to do better than those ones that were harvested
Abroad.
from abroad, yes.
Okay.
So
you just like you store in the eye banks or in any banks generally, you also can get the cornea from other parts of the country or outside Nigeria and then store for use. Is that also acceptable?
Yes, yes.
So are they, those ones, are they they're still natural, or is there any difference? Synthetic.
So it's just the same process, you know, the people donate, you know. Here in Nigeria or Africa as a whole, there's still a challenge of people donating organs and people generally being organ donors. So in most of those countries, it's not really a big deal. But, you know, as population is, so what they, to answer your question, what they do is that they harvest, people donate, and we get to use those corneas. But the challenge to that is that the cost of importing those corneas are way too expensive.
Right.
An average Nigerian can't afford it.
Okay.
So that is a major barrier to that. And secondly, for them, the challenge is also that their own population too is growing, just like every other population. So it's becoming increasingly difficult getting corneas from those countries. So we foresee that in future they may not want to give
to sell
anymore. They may not want to give anymore, and so that becomes a major challenge. So to avoid that happening, that's why we're saying that, you know, people can voluntarily donate their corneas. It won't be taken when they are alive. Of course, they need the cornea to see. But they can pledge at the eye bank, and, you know, we get the contacts. And once the families are aware that they are donors, because usually when people die, the families want to respect their wishes. So if they are donors, it's something we'll do. They don't even need to come to anywhere. We'll go to their homes.
And then harvest.
We'll harvest it, and it's a clean and neat, quiet procedure. Nobody even gets to know, except those that are really concerned or that needs to know.
So it's not a big surgery harvesting?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Okay. If the cornea is malfunctioning, assuming the person is still living now, what are those signs that one could easily see for you to know that your cornea is faulty?
Okay, so some of the things are like when you're looking at light, for instance, you know, like a bright light, you start seeing colors around it. You know, instead of the white light, you're seeing it's been broken down into different colors, just like the colors of the rainbow. So they may give examples like, oh, I'm seeing rainbows around lights. My vision is not very clear. You know, it's hazy. I'm seeing like fog when I'm seeing, like, it's always like Hamilton when I see people. Or, you know, sometimes they can say that I'm not able to see far at all. I'm just able to see things that are very close to me. And some may say that I'm seeing lines, things are distorted, I'm not really able to see clearly. So those are some of the signs.
Okay, so so people who also follow up to Jubala's question will be, how important is it for you to get your eyes checked regularly? And then if you're checking, how many times in a year is it recommended that you at least get your eyes checked?
So at least minimum once a year. It's very important, because apart from cornea problems, there are other things that may not necessarily give signs,
Okay.
you know, that can potentially cause blindness. One of it is glaucoma. Glaucoma is it's the commonest cause of irreversible blindness. So it's a big deal, because no matter what you do, you can't, as I speak now, you can't reverse the blindness, the amount of vision loss that glaucoma causes. Yes, there are
But can you prevent?
we can prevent, we can even halt what is happening now. We can, prevent further damage, further loss. But as it is now, we can't reverse the vision that is lost. So that is why it is very important, especially when there's been a family member or members of the family that has glaucoma.
So
important.
once there's a family history, you need to take care
Okay,
about
but
that.
can someone with glaucoma donate his or cornea after death?
After that.
Yes, it's very possible because the cornea is at the outer part of the eye. Glaucoma affects the back of the eye.
Okay.
Okay.
So the front of the eye is very
It's still
good.
very okay.
Yes, it's just because, some people are blind from glaucoma and their corneas are still intact. So the thing that is causing the blindness in them is the back of the eye.
Okay.
So once that can be taken care of, they can see. But, the cornea doesn't have anything to do with that. So even a blind person, after death
Can still do.
donate.
Right. So now we're talking about, getting more people to be aware of the need to pledge to donate their cornea when they are dead. So how does it work? So with the pledge, is it just signing of documents, signing of papers, or have you also had issues where somebody actually pledged, but the families declined and said, you know what, we don't want to do this. We don't want to bury this person. We want part of the organ missing or gone. We know, we can be very dramatic. So how does it work when you make a pledge?
Okay, so basically what we try to do, or what we are doing now, is to involve the family member. Of course, just like you mentioned, we've had that kind of case before. In fact, we've had cases whereby the families don't even inform us. They don't, because, when the person dies, it's the responsibility of the family to let us know that this person is dead. Some don't even inform us at all.
And the person already made a pledge to donate.
Yes. So, but now, because, initially the families were not a major part of the eye donation process, but now they are aware, they are part of the signing process. We also contact them, usually maybe when we are saying Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from the eye bank, we also inform the family, the family member that is the next of kin, so that it's not just that we're talking to the donor alone, we're also bringing the family along. And if the family member says no, they don't want us to harvest, even if we get to know, then we will respect their wishes because we can't cause more troubles.
I just stumbled on something now, talking about diabetic retinopathy. Can someone with diabetic retinopathy benefit also from cornea transplant?
No, except the person also has some cornea problems. Diabetic retinopathy is majorly affects the back of the eye.
Okay, not the front.
It has, but not as the front would not necessarily cause reduce the loss of vision as compared to the back. The major problem with them is the back of the eye.
Okay. So for somebody who's going to benefit from a donation from the eye bank, do they need to make payment, or is it free of charge? Or how expensive will it be for you to get a cornea from the eye bank?
Okay, so if it's a cornea that has been indigenously donated, then it's at no cost, because the cost is just the cost of processing of the cornea and cost of surgery wherever they want to, because they may not necessarily do the surgery in Lagos.
So you also give such to people who don't want to perform the surgery with you?
Yes, it can be. It's open. It's for the betterment of the Nigerian population. So, that is the process. That is the function of the eye bank, to distribute also when they have enough corneas. But when we source for these corneas abroad, they're quite expensive.
Okay.
So they pay for the transportation, the total package. As at now, if we don't even, because of this instability of the dollars, so we just tell them that it's $1,000
to get the cornea.
To get the corneas. but you also need to pay for the processing at the eye bank and also the surgery wherever you'll be having
Wow.
the surgery.
Okay,
That's
so
huge.
what are those habits or lifestyle that we must imbibe to keep our cornea healthy and generally our eyes?
Okay, so there's this computer vision syndrome that has been that's very common now because of the upsurge of the COVID-19 and and its sequelae. So we usually tell people, think and blink. When you're on the screen for a long time, take time out to blink and take some break actually, while doing that. Then also we encourage people when there is when there's any problem with the eye, maybe redness or discharge or discomfort generally, please visit the hospital. Do not use urine, do not use breast milk. Breast milk is very common. In fact, some people, if not
Do
even,
people use that?
Oh, yes,
a lot.
they do.
They don't even. Some people don't even take their own urine.
They take someone else's.
urine. And we also, because some of these things are things that have been passed down from generation, especially
Right.
grandmothers.
But it's also
saying-
very common with babies, mothers to babies.
Yes.
You use breast milk on your baby because you realize there's a discharge. Or so yes, people do it. People do it. So, and then you also mentioned earlier the fact that this is also quite common in your formative years. So this also could be a generational problem where mothers unknowingly have contributed to the destruction of the cornea of their kids. Is this any way true?
Yes, it's very correct. And, especially, sometimes some of these grandmothers come around and they tell them what they feel and, installations of all sorts of things, actually. Some are herbal concoctions, some things. Recently, I saw one with engine oil
Where?
into the eye. Yes, into the eye, installation of engine oil into the eye. Urine is very common, urine, the breast milk, then sugar water, some kind of water solution that they've made. So those things are quite common and they cause so much damage to the cornea.
How about people, redness and all of that, and then you buy over-the-counter eye drops?
Yes, over-the-counter is not recommended because, if you look at your eye as an egg, really, you don't want to harm it. You don't want to do anything that would potentially, cause any damage to that. So if we see our eye as an egg, really, when these things occur, it just takes a bit of time to visit the ophthalmologist and complain. This is, it's better for the ophthalmologist to say, oh, this is not a serious issue, just use this and this and this and you'll be fine, than, using those things that you don't know that you go over the counter to get. And, and the thing is that because we are at a tertiary center, we see them when they've gone
almost
through everything.
irreversible.
Yes, so it's usually very saddening because these things are things that don't even, there are things that shouldn't even be causing blindness in the first place. There are things that are just, things that we could just use some medications. Some medications are not they're not so expensive and can be used to cure that disease. Because at the end of it, when these problems happens, the cost of restoring back vision is a lot more than what would have initially cost.
Okay, if there's anyone watching us right now, probably in Lagos or in any part of the country, and they are willing to donate before they depart this world, what are the channels that they need to follow?
So we can go through the eye bank. The Eye Bank of Nigeria is located in at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. There's a website to it and their contacts which we can share.
Okay. All right. So how successful, the success rate of the cornea transplants, that's part one of my question. Then the second is, can a donated cornea also develop a problem?
Yes. So to the first question, usually before we deemed, because not all corneas that are bad can actually benefit from a transplant.
Okay.
So we would have examined and screened the person, in terms of the success rate. Like every other surgery, cornea transplant can have complications, but during the process of screening and examining, we would have identify those ones that can benefit and would take due process so as to minimize the complications that can arise.
Okay.
Okay, so for the second question, can complications arise from a donated cornea? Yes, we can have complications, but for every surgery, we take adequate precautions to minimize whatsoever complications that can arise.
Okay, so what's the link between our diets and the way we maintain our eyes?
So diet is very important. It's important to eat well, just like for every part of the body. The eye eats to eat to eat vegetables, to take fruits, care for the eye, visit the eye doctors when there are problems, or annually, just for a good check. And that's basically all. And of course, avoid over-the-counter medications and avoid those medications that can potentially cause problems to the eye.
Okay, so I know you mentioned this in passing earlier, but again, maybe you can just talk about it now. So just like you have, you carry out tests to know the appropriateness of an organ from a donor to somebody who's receiving, does that also happen? Can one reject a cornea? Just like sometimes you hear people reacting or rejecting a donated kidney or during transplant. So is that also possible that part of the complication could be the fact that before surgery you were sure that this could work, and upon transplant things just went south, and the recipients just wasn't coping well with the cornea?
Yes, that has happened, but the experience we've had with our indigenous donors have been very good. We've just had two
like
and three transplants corneas, and they were very good. We didn't have such problems. So because we've not really had so much experience with the indigenous ones, the ones we did were very good. But from the ones that we've imported, there's been some challenges. Of course, there could be rejection with corneas, but the ones that have been indigenously harvested, they went well. But of course, it's 100%? Difficult to tell. Yes, because 100%. Yes, 100%. Because although it's very difficult to tell, because it's just been 3. Mm-hmm. So okay. We've not had so much number as compared to the ones that were we harvested from abroad.
Okay, so when you harvest cornea like that, does it have a lifespan in the eye bank?
Yes, so there are different ways that we can preserve these corneas, even though we'd like to use it as soon as possible, because that's where you have the optimal results. So, but what we tend to do, there are different mediums that can preserve to varying number of days. So we have the ones that can preserve for about 6 days, about a week. We have ones that can preserve for a little bit more than that. So, but usually, for the ones that we've harvested indigenously, we've had to do them almost immediately. Yes.
So, I mean, if someone dies and then you harvest, and then there is no waiting patient for the transplant, what happens?
We have a ton of patients that are on the list for transplants. In fact, the demand is way, way, way. I don't know what else I can use to qualify that, more than the supply. Wow. So there's a long list of patients on the list.
Okay, so anytime you harvest, you can transplant almost immediately.
Yes, but I mentioned that we've just had 3 indigenous ones. But some of these people, they are eligible to have cornea transplant, but they don't have money. So once they don't have money, we keep them on the list and hope that someday some philanthropist may come and help them financially to do that. But of course, if we have our indigenous donors, then we have a lot of indigenous donors, then the barrier of finance automatically just fizzles out.
Okay, beyond appearing on a program like this, what else do you think we should do to actually embrace the culture of cornea donation in our society?
Well, I think creating awareness is very key, because a study was done recently and a lot of people don't even know about cornea donation. So that is one way. Then, of course, to create awareness, we need all hands on deck. We need the media. We need the Nigerian film industry because, you know, they are doing wonderfully well. But, you know, when it comes to, you know, this misconception of people living again, coming back again, and, you know, the ritual things, people believing that eyes can be used for rituals to get money, and, you know, all those things that have been propagated erroneously due to, you know, one misbelief or the other. So we need to break that myth and let people know that, you know, the cornea is something that can be useful to other people. And, you know, one of the patients that we harvested from, you know, he had told the children, you know, that he wants to donate his corneas. So when he dies, these corneas should be harvested. So when, of course, unfortunately, it was an accident, he was involved in an accident, but the children kept calling that we should come and harvest this cornea, that this is their father's wish, and, you know, they want to respect it, even though the harvesting time was more than the 6 hours. Okay, but we still harvested because they said you must harvest this cornea because this is what
last wish.
Yes, and of course the cornea was used, and, you know, people are benefited, and they keep praying for the family, and you know how much delight can you have when you know that even while you are dead, you are still impacting people. Someone is still living through you.
Right.
You know, generations are still being made. So I think that is something that people can, you know, that can serve as a motivation for people, because the corneas are not useful when you are dead.
When you're dead.
Yes.
So when you harvest, do you harvest one or both?
Both. So we harvested from 2 persons, but we used for 3 persons, because for one of the persons they
It was just one.
Yes.
Okay.
Eye, so.
Right. So you can actually harvest 2, but use one of the harvested. So if you harvest 2 from a person, and then the recipient needs just 1, you can use just 1.
So yes, because usually for the people that will, even because of the demand, the people we give priorities to are people that I can't see at all, that are blind bilaterally. So for those ones, we just give 1, because for one potential donor, we can have 2 corneas, and it can give life to 2 people. So once we're able to, because usually once you have a good eye, one good eye, you can do virtually almost everything that everybody does. So we restore sight in that and give them the livelihood, you know, what they can do. Because once someone that is blind can restore, once the sight is restored, the person can function, person can go to work and walk, you know, whatever trade they've learned, they can perform it, they can become a breadwinner, they can do things. So we give life to 2 people with 1 potential donor.
Okay. Okay. Ajibola, are you
I'm okay.
Any question from you ladies? None. All right. Okay, so we'll probably have to leave this conversation here. But again, if you'd like more information so that we don't, you know, do some form of marketing here, you can reach out to us. But your website is functional. Can you just give the website? Let's just do the website.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll get the website from her, and then we can, you know, get the website across to you, you know, as in the course of the program. Thank you so much, Dr. Sedotin Bashoru, consultant ophthalmologist from LASOTH, for finding time to be here on the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the much we can take. We all can make a pledge. Adibinkwe and Joy, and
Pledge on national TV.
I didn't say you should make a pledge now. I'm just saying, come on, guys. You all can make a pledge. I didn't say plug, harvest. You can donate your cornea when you're gone. You still have plenty years to spend now. Let's take a quick break. When the conversation returns, another life-saving issue the ladies will be taking through. Of course, this time it will be about blood donation. Okay, it's about health on the program today. We'll see you again after this short break.
Welcome to Sukedile Community Development Association. This majorly residential community with few small-scale business owners has over 2,000 residents from across Nigeria coexisting, with the mindset that the government, both at the state and local government, cannot provide all needed infrastructure, as through self-funding provided various infrastructures to complement the government.
In any community, you cannot but get some philanthropists who are really good, who believe in doing things for themselves. And personally, I brought that idea to them that we cannot wait on government, that we have to partner with government to be able to do things for ourselves. So it has been, as I said, very challenging. Try to mobilize, try to sensitize, try to get them recognize that you are living here. They say the way you lay your bed is the way you will lie on it. So since we are living here, we have to make the place environmentally suitable for our comfort. And so we started in 2018 that our road was so bad, exceedingly bad. So we decided that we will use paving stone to...
Area since 1996, understand me? And it's been such a beautiful area that is developing to its fulfillment by the grace of God. Because of the quality of the people who are loving and who wants a development, we are moving.
With the interlocked road, recreation center and educational intervention to indigent residents of Sukedile Community Development Association, the community enhancement and empowerment cannot be overemphasized.
I was heard that we will be doing the road using paving stones. We've done 400 meters at a cost of over 15 million by ourselves. That's number one. Number two is that we the one constructing our gutters, and we are providing the electric pole. And for part of the community, we provided through our youth electricity. Street light. Then we provide security infrastructure.
Putting up a youth community center, which is to take care of the youths and at the same time the elderly, because we noticed that an idle hand, like they say, is the devil's workshop, particularly when it comes to the youth.
Key stakeholders are also implored to constantly contribute their quota into the development of the community, as a drop of water into the community will end up becoming an ocean for their use.
Purpose of this, I live abroad. I live in United States with my family, and ever since I moved here, I see the necessity, the very importance of security. So doing this, I don't think is something they have to tell someone. It's very important. Beautification of a community where you stay, it should be one of our topmost priority, which I thank God for the privilege, for the opportunity given to me, that I'm able to do, to do this.
With the provision of bottled water and gatehouse to enhance security, Sukedile Community Development Association has proven that the governance is a dual responsibility between the government and the governed.
since 1999 to date, so the development is really improving. So you can see the templates in which all the past governor and the present one are following. So it has been awesome. So look at how Lagos was in 1999, how it was in 2003. It keeps improving on the four years and this thing. So we still hope for more because there are still a lot of things that need to be done.
The government are really trying, and the demarcations are really good.
Fantastic. Looking at development in Alausa, there's been a lot of maintenance culture. You can see the trees are getting greener and bigger. And you can see the road infrastructure well maintained. Each time there is damages, they fix it.
Lagos State now. I won't lie to you, I can't remember.
I want to know how it is Lagos State. Well, Lagos State has been in existence for the past 2 decades, or more than 2 decades.
I can't really remember how old is Lagos State, but from what I can say, Lagos has been an ancient city.
Around probably 50, 56, 57, I guess.
1969. No, go to your record now. Shut born in 1969. When you go to calculator, tell you the age.
There's actual recent in Lagos, whether good or bad. This was about 10 years ago or thereabouts. I went to Komta Village to get a phone. So as I was shopping, doing window shopping, as I was trying to get one, so those touts just called me to say that there is a phone that there was a Tokumbo phone that they want to sell. I'm talking about during the days of BlackBerry. So he now called me and we negotiated. We negotiated for 4,000 naira. So, and they took me to the shop. I checked the phone. It was okay with the pack. So then I said, I don't really know what happened. So, and the phone was given to me. So they just fled. That's what happened. So I just jumped inside the bus. I'm getting to the bus. The bus was moving. I opened the phone. Okay, let me check what I put. I can't believe my eye. It was a full phone. I was, God, what happened? What is this? Then I collected the guy's number. So I now called him, and I called him. I said, guy, what happened? This is what you sent to me. He said, you are a thief. You want to buy black for 4,000. Get out. I was, thank God, I fought for this trick.
We have Eshinlokun, and we have, I only know Eshinloku.
Lagos Central, Alimosho, I know of Lagos Central. I remember the one with the former First Lady, that Lagos Central, that's the only one I remember now.
Lagos Central, Social District, Honorable Wasiu Eshinlokun, who is headed by Honorable Wasiu Eshinlokun. We also have the West, and we also have the East.
The three senatorial districts we have in Lagos is Central, where I belong to, we have the West and the East.
We have like 13 LGA, but the LCDA I'm not. Okay, hold on, 6. That's like 70 something, I guess.
It's 20 LGA and 32 LCDA, making 52.
14 local government, but I don't know the local council.
For LCDs, I think 25, 20, I'm not sure. Then the LGAs should be around, maybe it's same 20, 25.
We have 20 local government and 37 LCDA.
Apapa is, in fact, Apapa is the center of Lagos, I can say that. Because port is here. The port is, that's an international port. No part of the world that is not in Apapa. That's why we call it a metropolitan city. So many people are here, Oyibo, blacks, from different parts of Africa. And Apapa is very peaceful.
There are many companies in Apapa, like this is Ninja Biscuit. We have Ajinomoto, that is where I work, Ajinomoto. We have many companies, Rice Flour Mill. We have different companies in Apapa.
Welcome back to the conversation this morning, and as Abimbola said earlier, it's about donation and saving lives. Earlier we talked about, saving your cornea for people who might need it later when you are gone. And right now we're talking about blood donation. You're welcome.
So you don't have to be gone.
You don't have to be gone.
Well,
Yeah, you have to be healthy to do it. Today we're talking about the Lagos State Blood Donation Drive with Dr. Bodunrin Oshikomaya. She's the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Committee. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Lagos is celebrating?
We're celebrating.
We're celebrating 20 years.
20 years
of
old.
existence.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's begin. So, according to the Commissioner for Health here in Lagos, he said that Lagos has 130,000 donors and that is very low.
No, not 130,000 donors.
What's the correct?
Yeah, so what it meant was that per annum, it's an average of 130,000 donations per annum, and that is extremely low. Because we always look at our donation based on what is expected of every environment. So using the World Health Organization mandate, that 1 to 2% of blood must come from the community, and that is what is expected to meet our present needs. So it depends on what population figure you want to use. What population figure should we use today?
Let's just keep to over 20 million.
Over 20 million, yeah. So if you look at over 20 million, we need at least 200,000 units of blood. Sometimes you use 22 million, 22,000. 220,000 units of blood. So if you compare 130 to 200,000, what's the percentage you're talking about? That's about 65% of what is expected for usage. So what happens to the remaining 35% that did not get their blood needs? 35% in this type of economy is quite a lot of numbers.
So how critical, that means it's very important that we begin to pay attention to blood donation.
Very.
What is the importance of donating blood?
So the first importance is that you are saving a life. And as I say to people, that life can be yours. So it's only when blood is donated, processed, ensured to be safe, and kept in the blood bank that the blood can be readily available when you need it. But on the other hand, for the people donating blood, there are quite a lot of advantages to donating blood. First of all, you are saving a life, as I've said. Many people that donate blood are always very happy. They have a good mental state. But you also have a few check. You know, you're talking about being healthy. healthy before you donate blood. So we'll ask you a lot of questions. We'll test your blood for all those viruses and bacteria that must not be there. We'll do your blood pressure. We'll ask you questions that you've never really thought of. So it's like a mini health check, a mini consultation. Once blood is taken out of your body, your bone marrows also work very, very hard. So it's like there is a renewal of blood cells in your body. And, you know, we young people, we are more energetic than the more elderly ones. So the fresh blood cells can carry oxygen, carry waste products to where they should be, take your nutrients to where it should be. So you are healthier.
Very important.
Yes, and it's really very important that. And there are studies that talk about blood donation. People that donate blood, they have a lower or more stable iron level. And lower stroke stable iron levels are very important for things like that. It's been noticed that they have a less incidence of cancers. So if I'm going to donate blood and have lesser incidence of developing cancer, I think I would like to donate blood as often as possible. Also, people that have a lower incidence of iron in their level, they have a lesser incidence of cardiac diseases, cardiac conditions. So it's really important for you to donate blood. And above all things, you are given a Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service voluntary donation card, such that when your first degree relative needs blood, you can tender it and you can have blood without the need for replacement at that time. So there are quite a number of advantages. You also get a free meal or a free drink.
I think that was the motivation for me, because when I was in uni, I remember donating blood, and they gave me that energy drink. I don't want to mention the name.
The malt drink.
Yes, the malt drink. Thank you. And they gave me eggs.
Yeah,
you know, and milk.
Now we've gone a little bit past, because everybody needs to. We give palliatives like food, you know. We get donations from people, so you might be lucky to get a bag of rice, not full bag, just a small one. Or you get a snack, and you get bags too, T-shirts, because people are beginning to understand that we need to support and encourage blood donation. And most of these things we give are not just for the donor, but for other people to know that, oh, you've done something good, I'm a great person, you've saved a life, you're a hero. I would like to get this particular souvenirs too. So it's usually a very interesting one.
Okay, despite all these motivations that you've talked about, people still do not, you know, believe in donating the blood. Why? What are these misconceptions about blood donation?
Yeah, we don't have the culture of blood donation.
Really?
Yes, because we are afraid. There are lots of myths. There are lots of myths. Example of the myths is the first thing: I do not have enough blood, irrespective of. If I ask you now, come and donate blood, I don't have blood.
I will tell you now that I don't think I have enough.
I've not been eating well for a while.
I have a story because I think I shared it with her the other day. I said when I was pregnant, anytime I'm pregnant, my doctors, kept telling me, "Oh, your PCV is low. So anytime I'm pregnant, I always have, low PCV.
Yeah.
So that has discouraged me. Unlike when I was still ACC and I could, donate my blood voluntarily.
Yeah, this happens to most women as you grow older. Apart from the fact that we lose blood all the time, as every month. We also, females know it as much as before, as we always want to be fit, we want to look very, very pretty, we're on a diet at all times. So as you grow older, there's a tendency that our blood levels will also reduce. So, but really, you need to check. Let's check now. Okay. And then see. But you need to check first. As I said, it's a myth, it's a misconception. You cannot know if you have adequate amount of blood in you except you check. And when you check, if the blood is not enough, then you need to seek health care. So some of the health care might just be counseling. So we do a lot of that. We check it's not enough. We tell you, what is your diet like? You need to eat more iron-based meals. Sometimes you give them Imatinics, and that's like blood tonics. Oh, it's not enough. Okay, we take this for the next 1 month and check back. And some people, we just refer them straight to the doctor. This is too low to be acceptable even for your own individual body. Another myth is blood donation is painful. Well, it depends on the way you see it. You will feel the needle prick. That is all. And that is all. So once you know that it's just that needle prick, it's easy for the blood donors to tolerate it and to accept to donate blood. Another one, there are so many other funny ones that will tell you that if you donate blood, you'll be thin. And I'm like, well,
is there something that will continue sucking the blood?
But you know, I've seen studies that say that if you don't, for each time you donate blood, you lose about 650 calories. When I walk and take 10,000 steps, I usually lose about 180 to 200 calories.
So let's start donating blood.
Yes, so I've seen studies like that. So in a way, it's not like you will be thin, but you lose some calories. Might encourage, it might help you to stabilize your weight, but you know, you will not be thin when you donate blood.
So what are the lifestyle benefits of blood donation?
So like I said before, your bone marrow works, and once your organs and your tissues are working regularly, it adds to your advantage. You are healthy. Number two, it helps you to relieve right, because if you are a blood donor, you want to regularly donate blood. You will not have unprotected sex. You will not share needles. You will not take part in activities that will disrupt your blood donation schedules, nothing like that. So it's usually very nice. Apart from that, because you are donating blood regularly, you will always have a health check. You will always. Nobody wants to go to the hospital. Like, oh, it's expensive to go to the hospital.
Some are even scared of the unknown.
Unknown. So by the time you are donating blood, whatever it is, we will. And then you have regular interaction with healthcare personnel. Everybody believes that for you to get to the hospital, it's either you spend so much money or you stay on a long queue before you see the doctor. So you walk in, speak, as in just freely. It's like you are talking to your friend. So those are the personal benefits you have being a blood donor.
Okay, so there is need for more donations in this area. So how do you engage the community to educate them on the importance of blood donation?
I love that question. We need to do a lot of awareness, and that is one of the major challenges we have at the Blood Transfusion Service. We have not done enough awareness. We are trying our best, but honestly, I know we need to do more. So the first thing is to have a lot of community awareness. Every time we're having programs in the community, we try to talk about blood. Once there is a free health check, we try to talk about it, but we do our best not to just collect at that time, because you need to change the mindset before you begin to collect blood. But in Lagos State, over 60% of the blood is donated by the youths or people just a little bit above 35. So we try to engage them through non-governmental organizations like Lion Clubs, Leo Clubs, Lutherot Club, we have Rotary Clubs.
It's okay.
Yes, and every other one. We also have a lot of religious organizations. We go to church, the Muslims, we go to mosques, and we try to interact with them during the period and try to engage the youth community of such gatherings. And it has been quite helpful. We also go to schools. First of all, the school, it happens in two ways. We go to the schools to talk to people that are yet to donate blood. So by the time they are of age, that is about 18 years old, they already know the right things to do, where to go to, what to expect when you want to donate blood. And then we go to the universities where the actual blood donation happens. So it's really, really, really nice.
You said something about the age. What age brackets, are healthy enough to donate blood?
Between the ages of 18 and 65 years old.
18 and 65
years. Yes.
Okay. I also have one question to ask, because someone said, in particular said I should ask you that if blood is donated voluntarily, why do they have to pay for it to get it?
Beautiful question. Blood donated is like raw materials. You have to process the blood. You have to collect the blood in specialized bags. You have to collect the blood. You must use a needle, you must use gloves. Those bags, you buy gloves. You must process the blood. We don't use the rapid test kits. We use a particular machine, a fully automated system to donate, so that the percentage of the window, that's where you could have infectious agents, are detected, such that there is no mistake or you don't lose out infectious agents. So use a fully automated system. Blood is also kept in what they call chain. And we have refrigerators that we would use. You must use,
course, not like our refrigerators.
Yes, special blood bags. Yes, those refrigerators
Even people start to remove their blood, take out their blood and put it in their fridge.
Special blood bags are there that you must, such special blood bags, refrigerators are not, you must not freeze at all. When you are carrying blood from place to place, you must use specialized bags with cold blood. So all those things cost money. What they pay for is actually the cost of grouping and cross-matching the blood, as well as screening the blood. Just because you are donating blood does not mean that I can be able to benefit from the blood. So the easiest way to use it, as to describe it in a normal day life, is crude oil. We refine crude oil from Nigeria, but it has to be exported to different things. I can't take crude oil and use it in my car. I can't take crude oil and use it to cook. I can't take crude oil and use it to rub my skin as petroleum jelly. So it has to be processed. The cost of that processing to make sure that the blood is safe for you and it's safe for the person also donating it, that we call it.
Okay, can one's blood group or genotype affect his or her ability to donate blood?
Yes. Blood group doesn't affect, because everybody, we need every blood group. We need A positive or negative, B positive or negative, O positive or negative, as well as AB positive or negative, but your genotype matters. So we have some special group of people that I love. I'm a hematologist. They have the sickle cell gene there. So that unit of blood produced by those people cannot be used. So if you have those inherited conditions that makes the blood to sickle, you cannot donate blood. So if you are of a hemoglobin genotype AA or hemoglobin genotype AS, please come over. We want to collect your blood.
Okay. Our colleague Abimbola has a question for you.
Doc, I would like to ask, in this part of the world, we have a whole lot of misconceptions, myths, and things that surround health generally. We cleared some during the first conversation this morning. So in dealing with people, what are some of those myths that you've encountered and you've had to dispel when dealing with people concerning blood donation?
Just like I mentioned earlier, we talked about the pain in donating blood. We talked about people saying they will lose weight when they donate blood, or become thin rather. We talked about people saying that they do not have enough blood. So in dispelling the first one, you must check first before you say you don't have. With respect to people that feel that they will become thin, I just tell them the biggest people around there donate blood. You know, see, this person is plump, you can see the blood. And usually when we have blood donation drives, we have a mix of slim and plump people there, so usually very good. For people that say it's painful, we allow them to see an ongoing blood donation. For myths like, okay, if I donate blood, that my glory, quote and unquote, or the good deeds in my life are transferred to the person receiving the blood. We always show them, see, I'm a blood donor, I am doing well. She's a blood donor, is doing well. We have people from corporate organizations, MDs, that donate blood, and so we give them examples of those people. And you know, we give all our donors, especially regular donors, give them awards, and we take pictures of them. We show you them. See, we have something called
regular donors.
Regular donors, people that donate at least 3 times.
So people come more than come back.
Yes, some people donate 4 times a year. Some people donate 3 times a year. Usually, most of our females donate 2 times a year. So we have their pictures. We have something called our honors board. If you come to the blood transfusion service, you have their names there. I'm going to tell you, look at this person, donates blood. This is where this person works. This is who this person is. And we have our ambassadors that we also reach out to that, look, this is our ambassador, that regular donor. So, you know, you have to give them examples. They need to see the reality of blood donation. And that is what we do, to try to dispel the myths.
So, okay, thank you, Doctor. Again, I'd like for you to... Adebimpe talked about, you know, while being pregnant, issues around low PCV. Also, I know that there was a time, if you're pregnant, Lagos General Hospitals, it is a prerequisite there, your husband must come to donate. Is that still a practice?
Well, thank you very much. So before year 2019, it was a practice for you to compulsorily have your husband or family member to donate blood before you can access health care. But in 2019, there was a court judgment that said that you must not force any pregnant woman or anybody requiring health care to donate blood before access to health care. What we're just trying to do is to promote healthcare as your fundamental human rights. It said before, so the practice now is to encourage you to register, encourage you to access healthcare. After that, we will tell you to kindly donate blood. Encourage your husbands to donate, because somebody needs to donate the blood. The thing about women that are pregnant when they need blood is they need blood in multiples. You will see a woman, bleeding during pregnancy that needs like 15, 20 units of blood. So somebody needs to donate the blood. So we try to advocate more. Okay, you have registered, please come and donate blood. Please donate blood.
So what if they are not the same, they don't have the same blood group?
No, it doesn't matter. So the blood donation, you are donating blood into a pool of blood.
Okay.
So by the time you need the blood, we test the donor, we test the recipient, that is the person that needs the blood. And then once they are compatible, which is called the compatibility test, we give the person the blood that they require. So we are telling Nigerians, Lagosians, that you still need to encourage you to donate blood. The act of compulsorily forcing people to donate blood before healthcare, before access to healthcare, is not encouraged, because you have a right to life, you have a right to your healthcare. But it does not stop you from donating blood after you access healthcare. And please donate blood to save lives.
Okay, back to what you do. Sometime last year, a private hospital was sealed up. Yeah. What exactly happened about blood donation?
Yes, I need to talk about it. So we have the Lagos Blood Transfusion, as you said, we're celebrating our 20th year. It's actually 20th year of the law. 20th year of implementation of the law. 20th year after the law that created the blood transfusion service was enacted. And I can tell you that Lagos State is the only state with their law. We are pace setters. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you to our founders for ensuring that that happens. So in that law, it is compulsory that every unit of blood that is collected be screened using an automated WHO system for HIV 1 and 2, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and syphilis. So if blood is collected from any donor, irrespective of how fit the donor is, and the blood is not screened before transfusion, that means you're endangering the life of the person receiving the blood. Once we have issues like that, we seal down that facility and we take them to court. So we work in conjunction with EFAMA, that is the Health Facilities Monitoring Agency, who also help us to ensure that the right thing is done. And we also work with the Ministry of Justice, because these people must face the brunt of the law.
Okay, you just spoke about the law. What was the blood practice like in Lagos before the law?
You need to watch the documentary. Yes, we had to do a documentary on this. So listening to our founding fathers and mothers, they talked about having blood in refrigerators, normal refrigerators with meat, with gari. They put it on the table. So there was no good processes in storing blood. There was poor processes in collecting blood. Blood was collected from just anybody, everywhere.
Even in health facilities?
Yes, then, because there was no, when there is no standard, everybody just they do what they want. At that time, there was no standard. People really did not know about the act of collecting blood the right way, of collecting blood in the right manner. So the thoughts of having the law helped us to structure those processes, both in the public and in the private health facilities.
Okay, so now take us through the process. For someone who hasn't donated blood before, what am I to do?
So the first thing is, once you've made up your mind to donate blood, at least the day before, eat a healthy meal, rest well.
When you say eat a healthy meal, in this...
yes,
you still eat.
You just eat. So we always tell you, don't eat a fatty meal. Don't tell blood that because you want to donate blood, you are taking a lot of fat. There are so many things we don't of oil. Just eat a healthy meal.
When you say healthy, what is healthy?
Okay, any meal that has your proteins, fruits and vegetables. Might just be a nice cup of tea and a slice of bread. I know that is not part of it. It's cannot be. Your yam and egg is okay too. If you want to eat eba in the morning, please eat eba in the morning with your vegetable soup. But it is advisable that you eat a healthy meal. And usually we will not collect blood until after 2 hours from your meal. So allow your body to be replenished by that food. You take a lot of fluid. When we say fluid, water is really important in donating. But it's more important than most of those malt drinks and the juices. More of water than all those things is very nice. We want you to rest well. Many people are agitated before donating blood, especially if you are a first timer. Rest, sleep well. Don't worry about what will happen. It's going to be a good one. And then if you do not take alcohol before donating blood, we will not collect blood from you if you've taken alcohol at least 24 hours before.
I want to ask a question. Can husband and wife meet before you take blood?
Yes, now. yes, please. Please, husband and wife.
Okay. No, you know why I'm asking these questions? Because there's some tests you go out to do and they tell you, oh, because you did it last night with your husband, sorry,
You can't run
You
this
can.
test.
You know those tests, Abimbola. You know those.
Why
tests.
are you calling my name?
Okay, Joy, you know those tests.
Joy, you say
We
why
are
are you
talking
calling
as
my
women.
name?
Toby, you know those tests. Dr. Oshikomaya, you know those
I
tests.
know those tests. But be rest assured, when it comes to blood donation,
It has nothing to do with it. Okay, so yes, I was
when
just
you finish it, the two of you can come and donate blood.
you can come as a couple go. So I was just
together.
going to ask, I mean, 20 years of amazing things you're doing at the Transfusion Committee. And so what are your projections for the future?
So the first thing in our plans, our next decade plans, is to ensure that the blood transfusion service is fully automated. We have started our journey of automation from screening blood, so we don't screen with a semi-automated system any longer. Last year, exactly about this time last year, Mr. Governor signed out the policy on using fully automated systems because he wants to ensure that the window period of having infections are really, really negligible. The health of Lagosians are really paramount to Mr. Governor. So that is one major thing. We want to automate other processes like you being able to register to donate blood online on your phone, knowing where blood is, you should be able to access the locations where you can get blood on your phone or on your devices. It's really important as to help us to reduce the turnaround time for blood needs. So instead of calling everybody, oh, please, do you have blood in this particular center? All those things will be fully automated. The second thing is we want to use more specialized and molecular testing. Something called nucleic acid testing.
English,
yes,
sugar.
it's a specialized testing. It's better than what we're doing now. We want to progress to more specialized tests. Next in our next decade is I want to reduce wastage of blood. Right now we're wasting, even though the blood collection is not enough. We're still wasting blood. So we have, the blood is divided into numerous compartments. We have the red cells that you see. We have something called plasma that looks like yellow. It's also then we have platelet concentrate that is a bit cloudy. So when we collect blood, I'm sure you've heard that 1 unit of blood saving 3 lives. So now everybody is more particular about that red part of the blood. The plasma and the platelets are units of blood that are being wasted because we are not processing the blood. So we are hoping that within the next decade, 100% of blood collected in Lagos State will be fully processed into those 3 components such that the plasma part can be used for pharmaceutical products. Things like coagulation factors. Yes, you can.
What is that?
Something that will help your blood to coagulate. Okay, I'm sure you know of ROGAM, hemoglobin is called ROGAM. That's people that are O negative, women. Yes. So so if you are O negative and you're pregnant, there are some injections that you give those women. We can make it from that. If we collect the blood the right way and process it the right way into those pharmaceutical products. So we are hoping that in this next decade, we should be able to do that. We are pace setters in Lagos. Nothing is impossible once we set our minds to it.
Thank you so very much.
I still want to ask you, just one final one. How long does it take to get the blood back, the one you donate? How long does it take, for the body to, get you more blood, get your blood back?
So within hours. No, I told you that
almost immediately.
Almost immediately. So the liquid part of the blood.
For the older.
Yes, almost immediately.
People like me.
Yes, immediately. The liquid part of the blood, that's the plasma, that's fluid part. Immediately, that's why we encourage you to take water. As they're taking water, it is replenishing it back. Then we have the white part of the blood, that's the white cells, comes in after that. And within another 2 weeks, your red cells are there. So it's an immediate thing, as long as you are taking fluids and you are eating right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bodunrin Oshikomaya, the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Committee. She has spoken extensively on the Lagos State Blood Donation Drive. Thank you very much for joining us on the conversation. All right, we'll continue right after this short break. Please stay with us.
Let the conversation continue.
Welcome back, and that was educative and quite insightful conversation with Dr. Shikomaya here. So please, I'm also appealing, on everyone's behalf to, try and donate blood. It could be you that need it.
You remember
next time.
that you're saving lives when you do so.
So what was that secret question?
Because
I was lost. I would like to know.
Well, Adebimpe said it's a woman thing. So exactly. If you don't know about it, forget about it. If you don't get it,
forget about it.
So at least I'm glad that Adebimpe could appeal that you should donate your blood, even though nobody wanted to donate or pledge cornea.
At least you can donate your blood.
You can donate blood. It's easier to donate blood than cornea, right?
But what if your children pledge on your behalf?
They can't pledge on your behalf.
They can't?
They can't. It has to be you. It's your body. So they should pledge their own. So it has to be you because it's part of your body. So you need to make that pledge yourself. They can only corroborate and agree, because once you're gone, they can decide to act funny and say, well.
The woman actually mentioned that.
So and then she already said they are also ensuring that families are part of the decision making, so that you don't claim ignorance when that person is gone. So today is about whether you want to pledge to donate your cornea or you want to donate your blood. Shall I donate something?
You start getting a lot when you donate blood.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes we also do not understand that, sometimes you just need to replenish. So give out that one that you have so that you can get another one. It is not just about the malt drink and milk.
Does it work?
Well, I think it's just an incentive.
I think it's just an incentive.
It's just an incentive, just to make you feel good.
It was a big deal. I got 6 eggs as far back as 1990.
Those 6 eggs still working in your body.
And malt drink. And milk.
And milk. That's why that actor said plenty milk and malt. Whether or not you drink anything, it will come back, and that's God has made that one like that. So, but let's just cultivate the habit of giving something. You never know, just like Adebimpe said, you never know who might be in need of these things somehow. That's our peace offering on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. God willing, the Friday edition will be here 10 a.m. tomorrow. Be sure to join us then. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Abimbola Bello.
And I am Ajibola Ojashola. We'll see you tomorrow as usual.
I am Adebimpe Omotayo. See you tomorrow. TGIF.
I am Joy. Only enjoy the rest of your day.
You're thinking about malt and milk.
You should donate in blood.
This is Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos. This is Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Otogbo harududo emina su azonkwe depopo he awuma pe nole masogan bi ole po na ye ma basi ali he awuma pe nole na gbodono bi oye metan utu togbo harudu wedomo. Osendo weda ho kodro naze osenda yi na do penu kun karin yinyin hopo gresi lesi hopo go na do do alote na tukra eno tinto ayi meto chenchen yeton to sale pome bo yedono to karin re be pe bon to ho me podo gre re me po bo tukra ojinu hihen greton dono tin pe to Nigeria. Danu wato kento ototonle to nugonu anagbo aweto naija tonle heyedo gboro adana analo lefin gboto analo hembre division wato Dave Umahi wedomo. Alọ́pọ̀nà Zamfara imatentan lẹ́ẹ̀tàn kò jẹ mẹ́hẹ́ tó dánú wa tó àyímátẹ̀ lọ́lẹ́gò òmẹ́jọmẹ́lẹ́kẹ́dẹ́ hemẹ́sẹ́dọ́tọ̀ àyímátẹ̀ lọ́ tán dépò òjànjínà tán hóhó lẹ́nu họ́rùdù tán dépò tìǹtẹ̀ ògbèdètọ̀ kpọ̀nọ̀zọ́n pé àyímátẹ̀ lọ́tàn Mohammed Daliga wẹ́dọ̀mọ́. Àyímátẹ̀gá mẹ́tàn Sanwó-Olú ìjọ́nà Uganda ó ti tó àpẹ́ ó togodo tán mẹ́dàhó Makta Diop tó àwọn rìn ọmọ tó Marina tó Azangagbe Azantọ́tọ́ Osun Chirokotọ́ pé tán. Onuyun eziza gbẹtọtàn kpọnukun huhun omọtọnkpo donayinu heye wura na tito dagbe ototan utu Babatunde Fashola wẹdọmọ tonu wiwa lasu kó atọnukun awetọtàn mẹ tó àwọn rìn. Ògándudu àwọn rìn tán kò wúrí àwú nàdó má òkú fúadé kandé gbà náà mẹ́hẹ́dù yélẹ̀ tó àwọn rìn ògbédétọ́ òkú gbígbà tán Moruf Akíndẹ̀rù Fatai wẹ́dọ̀ mọ́tò àwọn rìn. tó bọ́ọ̀lù kíkó yọnu sí FIFA tán he jamẹ́ kádó dòpólọ́wẹ̀ yé má Nàìjíríà Germany Korea kpó Venezuela kpó tó mímá mẹ́dí tán azán gbanukundo kpótó osutsiatɔtɔ òhwéhe tán wẹ́nà bẹ́tẹ̀ kákàdé azán konukun awetɔ osutsiɛnɛtɔ òhwéhe tán dòpólɔmɛ wẹ́ yéna ho bọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tẹ̀ tó Colombia. Otogan Israeli tán Netanyahu dɔ Israeli wúlíàwú nàdó hẹn kíkọ́ lódò tó dògbòjì yétàn kpó Lebanoni kpó tó wẹnu àwọn dògbòjì èmi tán kpó Hezbollah kpó tán tó sísíẹ́ tè.
zebra crossing is a type of pedestrian crossing used in many places around the world. Its distinguishing features is alternating black and white stripes on the road surface, from which it derived its name. Most importantly, a zebra crossing typically gives extra right of way to pedestrians. However, this is not so in a place like Lagos, where most drivers ignore the zebra crossing. They do not stop even when they see a pedestrian waiting to cross at the other side of the road, which may lead to a collision if vehicles refuse to stop. A trip around selected parts of the metropolis revealed that both the drivers and pedestrians do not respect the zebra crossing.
My mind wasn't there, so I was in a haste, but I saw it. It's necessary, because when you're there, the vehicle will see you and wait for you, so it's necessary, but my mind wasn't there.
Ordinarily, motorists are expected to reduce their speed as they approach a zebra crossing, then stop for pedestrians to walk across. Although zebra crossings may be more useful to the elderly, children, physically challenged, pregnant and nursing mothers, it is not limited to only those here mentioned. It therefore behoves on regulatory agencies to ensure rules guiding the use of zebra crossings are enforced.
It has become the habit of everyone to just go on the zebra crossing. Either they see someone standing and wants to cross, they won't wait. Most of the zebra crossings that we have, they are either wiped off, they are cleaned. I think the government should just make a very big sign where people will know that this is zebra crossing and everybody needs to stop.
The government should let them know what it really means, that they should stop for the pedestrians, those who are crossing. They are supposed to wait. When they see people on that line, as far as they're on that line, they're supposed to wait for them to cross. The NURTW, they are not doing enough to educate their drivers on what it really means.
Therefore, to avoid chaos, broken limbs or deaths within the city, especially on zebra crossings, it is important for all road users to obey traffic rules so sanity can prevail on the roads around the metropolis.
This is Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Hello, welcome to the news on Lagos Television. I am Bababumi Agbibi. President Bola Tinubu has vowed to initiate more developmental projects to meet the evolving needs of Nigeria's population as his administration prioritizes infrastructure upgrades as part of his renewed hope agenda. At the inauguration of the extended Inner Southern Expressway from the Outer Southern Expressway to Southern Parkway, S8, S9 in Abuja, the president says the event marks the fourth completed road project unveiled by the FCT administration within a year. Lauding the federal government's accelerated infrastructure development drive, President Tinubu, represented by his vice, commended the work ethics of the FCT administration under Nyesom Wike, hailing their hard work and commitment in delivering critical road projects within a year of assuming office.
Rehabilitation and expansion of the outer southern motorway, otherwise known as O6, is another important achievement and a milestone for this government. I thank the Honorable Minister and his team for quickening development and giving all the residents of Abuja renewed hope. Today, as I officially unveil this great road, I reaffirm my administration's dedication to enhancing the quality of life for all Nigerians. What is unfolding in our capital is a testament to what can be achieved with our government's renewed hope agenda of positive transformation of the FCT and indeed Nigeria.
President Tinubu expresses confidence that the collaborative efforts between the federal government and the FCT administration would yield more successes, enabling seamless movement of people and goods while catalyzing economic activities nationwide. Earlier, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, thanked the President for honoring the invitation to the Commission FCT Inner Road project, saying the event was the 6th inauguration since the commencement of events, marking the one-year anniversary of President Tinubu. He adds that the completed project was awarded by the previous administration in January 2010 at the cost of 17 billion naira and was increased to 18 billion naira in 2023. The contractor can testify that the government is not owing them for the project. The Nigerian Senate has stepped down the 98.5 billion naira Federal Capital Territory Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2024 for lacking fiscal clarity. The development follows a lead debate by the leader of the Senate, Senator Okpayemi Bamidele, proposing that the bill be read a second time.
Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 98 billion 500 million naira only.
In their contributions to the bill, the lawmakers commended the FCT minister for the notable achievements seen within and around the Federal Capital Territory, urging other sleeping ministers to take a cue from him.
Inflow from internally generated revenue, resulting to a revised total FCT IRS 2024 statutory revenue appropriation to the sum of 348 billion 720 million naira only.
Utilizing this money to further develop the FCT. So it's a welcome thing, and it's something that other agencies of government, other ministers.
I urge all our colleagues, in view of what is happening in Federal Capital Territory today, the minister have shown capacity and the minister have shown a very tough skin to work for the FCT.
Meanwhile, the lawmakers are satisfied with the FCT's improvement in revenue generation. They're seeking a further breakdown of the components of the bill, which is a necessary budgetary requirement. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, concurred that the bill lacked the necessary details for the Senate to proceed with the debate. He then put the bill to voice vote, and the majority voted against reading the bill for the second time, resulting in a minor uproar.
That this supplementary appropriation be now read a second time. Say aye. Those against say nay.
Consequently, the bill was put down until a detailed breakdown was provided. The Nigerian army has dismissed allegations of mass killing by its troops in the southeast geopolitical zone of Nigeria. The self-proclaimed leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Simon Ekpa, made the claims of mass killing by the Nigerian army. However, Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, in a statement debunked the claims, saying, contrary to Ekpa's claims, which has gone viral on social media, the Nigerian army has conducted a thorough investigation and found no evidence to support the allegations. General Nwachukwu added that the troops in the video footage are personnel of the Nigerian Navy, not the army, and were engaged in a routine test firing of weapons system. Ekpa had raised an alarm in a viral video alleging that troops of the Nigerian army are carrying out mass killing of innocent Igbos and dumping them in a river. It will be recalled that non-state actors in IPOB's armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, gruesomely murdered 5 soldiers in Abia State. The non-state actors were said to be enforcing a sit-at-home order across the southeast when they killed the soldiers. The ad hoc committee set up by the Kaduna State House of Assembly to investigate all finances, loans and contracts awarded under the immediate past governor, Nasir El-Rufai, has indicted the ex-governor and some of his appointees of fraud over 423 billion naira state funds. El-Rufai, in a swift reaction by his media aide, Muyiwa Adekeye, knocked the report, describing it as false and scandalous. He says El-Rufai is immensely proud of his record of governance and the legacy he left in Kaduna State, and his record of consistent high performance in public and private office cannot be altered by any malicious efforts to use the auspices of a state legislature for defamation and undeserved smears. Many of the officials who served in the El-Rufai government appeared before the ad hoc committee because of their confidence in the quality of their service and the rectitude which they served Kaduna State, and it was obvious that the ad hoc committee was merely going through the motions of an inquiry just to give some gloss to predetermined conclusions. Adekeye adds that El-Rufai wishes to assure discerning Nigerians that he has served Kaduna State with integrity and to the best of his capacity, assisted by a hard-working and patriotic team. Liquefied petroleum gas dealers says the federal government's ban on the export of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas, has led to a crash in the cost of the commodity from about 1,500 naira per kilogram to around 900 naira per kilogram. Cooking gas dealers under the aegis of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers disclosed this during a courtesy visit to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperipe Ekpo, in Abuja. Speaking at the meeting with the gas minister, the national president of the association, Oladapo Latsoposun, commended Ekpo for the courage in ordering the domestication of all LPG produced within the country, stressing that the policy resulted in the reduction and stabilization of the product's price in the domestic market. Olatobosu, in a statement issued by the minister's media aide, Louis Iba, recalled that during the stakeholders consultative forum in February this year, the association had drawn the minister's attention to the fact that some international oil companies operating in Nigeria had been exporting huge volumes of gas, stressing that if these volumes were to be available for the domestic market, there would be no need to import LPG at exorbitant rates, as the product will be available and there will be price stability in the local markets. Recall that on February 22, 2024, the federal government banned the exportation of LPG in a bid to increase its volume domestically to warrant a crash in price. In sports, Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye joined his teammates late Wednesday night in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, for the crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic. Okoye's arrival means new golfer Finidi George has the full complement of his 23-man squad for the crucial qualifiers against South Africa on Friday and Benin Republic on Monday. Okoye was among 8 players left stranded in Lagos and Abuja on Monday following the nationwide strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress, which grounded flight operations nationwide. The industrial action through general planning for the big match off year, and the Nigerian Football Federation had to opt for chartered jet arrangements to get the stranded players down to the Akwa Ibom State capital. Nigeria managed 2 points from their opening 2 games in Group C and must win both games to stand a chance of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup finals in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Rwanda is the surprise leader of the group with 4 points from 2 games, while the South Africans are second with 3 points, 1 point ahead of third place Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Moscow could arm countries with a view to attacking Western targets. Putin made the statement while criticizing the West's delivery of long-range weapons to Ukraine. Several countries, including the United States, have given Ukraine the green light to strike targets inside Russia. U.S. President Joe Biden is giving Ukraine permission to use American-supplied weapons to strike targets in Russia, but only near the Kharkiv region. The White House has said Ukraine cannot use long-range missiles on Russian soil. Ukraine has used U.S. weapons to strike inside Russia in recent days. Fierce fighting has been raging northeast of Kharkiv since a new Russian push across Ukraine's northern border. Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city, is just 30 kilometers from the border. That's all for now. For more news, do connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Reminder to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Many thanks for watching. I am Bababumi Agbibi. We'll be back at 2.
This is Lagos, the heartbeat of Nigeria, a city steeped in rich cultural heritage and now poised to become a global financial center.
We're a lot mayor's show, and it's an opportunity for us to just depict what Lagos is all about, and it's only at an event like this, competing with other bigger cities and other nations, that you can get to tell your story. So it's storytelling time for us.
In a historic moment, Lagos